really started us off with a nice game, just putting these things in order. And when I started with my rules, notice that that fourth rule, S has got to be in between P and T because she's before one of them or the other, but not both. That gives me a rule of two scenario that I've placed in my altogether pile. So either we have P before K and G and also before S and T, or else you flip that around and P is after S and T, in which case we get just a nice straight line to deal with. Either way, let's plow ahead. That's what she said. Question number 1, an acceptable ordering. 4 of these just violate those rules, and that first rule is violated in answer choice A. You can't do that. You got to have G not in fourth. Answer choice B violates our fourth rule. S has to be in between P and T. Answer choice D violates the second rule. You have to have P before K. And answer choice E violates the third rule, so that won't work either. That leaves us with only answer choice C. Question 2. If the percussionist is before the saxophonist, which the following must be true. Well, if the percussionist is before the saxophonist, then we're talking about this option right here, right? So I can start from there without even putting anything into my diagram. If P is before S, then it looks like that. And what has to be true? Oh, look at answer choice D. It has to be before the trumpeter. If it's before the saxophonist, I didn't even have to look at the compilation. I mean, that's just from the rule. Come on. All right, for question 3, 4 of these things are false. One of them could be true. I stopped at answer choice C because I was like, oh yeah, I mean, I'm looking at my rules here and the guitarist is before the saxophonist. Like, why not? There's no relationship between them in this option. And then I looked at answer choice E and I was like, oh shit, the keyboard is before the saxophonist. That could totally be true. I mean, again, in this option here. And this is why I'm always reading every answer choice, always. Because I did think that C was going to be the answer. But just skimming it told me that it's either C or else E. All right, so why can't we have the guitarist before the saxophonist? Well, if that's going to happen, it looks like this, right? In which case we have P, V, K, all before G, before S and T. So G is before S and T, and P, V, and K are all before G, and oh, we cannot have G in fourth place. That's never going to work, and that's why answer choice C is false. Answer choice E, on the other hand, that's no problem. Keyboard before the saxophonist. Let's just do something like this. P, V, K, S, T, G. P is before S before T. V is before K is before G. Nothing wrong with that. All right, for question number 4, who cannot be third? Well, whoever can't be third is somebody that has either too many things in front of him or too many things after him. A, the guitarist. Yeah, the guitarist has got at least 3 other soloists in front of him. The guitarist is never third, never that early. That leaves with only question number 5, and if the violinist is fourth, what could be false? So I'll plug that in. If the violinist is fourth, either way, that means we've got to have K and a G after her in that order. And that means that we got P, S, and T in front. And that'll be S in between T and P. We were asked for what 4 things that must be true. And you see that A, B, C, and D all must be true. Answer choice E could be, but doesn't have to be, and that's why it's our answer, and that finishes off this game. All right, in that video, I showed you why all the right answers were the right answers in that game. But I didn't really show you how to arrive at those answers. I didn't give you a system for dealing with the questions. I didn't give you a method for arriving at a diagram and working through a game on your own. And that's because I think that's worth paying for. If you agree with me, check out this link and you can see a list of all our current course offerings and their prices, and they're pretty reasonable, I think. And if you don't want to pay for that, that's totally cool. Just keep making the best use you can out of all these free videos, and please tell all your friends and family, neighbors and acquaintances and people you meet on the street how awesome we are. Of course, if you thought that was awesome, you really should see what's in the paid course.